No heroics into Sandoval, please.
Cheers, Jeff.
Hey guys, it's James here. Welcome back to another F1 2020 My Team Career Mode video. We are here for episode number 7 of Season 3 at the British Grand Prix. If you did miss the last episode in Austria, be sure to go check that one out. It was a fascinating race with a late safety car, really throwing the cat amongst the pigeons, and we ended up winning the race. We'll come to Silverstone. Not a great track record at Silverstone. We've been quite hit and miss throughout the career mode. We obviously didn't pick up many points there in Season 2. And then in Season 1, we didn't score at all. So we'll be looking to put the car on the podium for perhaps the first time ever at Silverstone. And that'll be the aim. We're now going to go towards qualifying for the British Grand Prix. So here we are then for qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Just going over and checking the setup. It is absolutely pouring it down, but we're going to keep our dry setup on as much as we possibly can. So we're going to use, I think, 5.8 wings and then drop that down to 3.8 in the race. If I was going full wet, I'd probably go for maybe 7.11 wings. So it's probably going to cost us maybe 1.5, maybe 2 seconds in this qualifying session. As you can see, our first run was pretty shoddy. We're down in 20th. Abby is normally comfortably flat out. We actually had to hit the brakes through there and then also take a little lift off through the farm curve as we now head to the technical turns 3, 4 and 5 round the loop. We are struggling a little bit, but we're half a second up on our previous best. A dry line or a drier line has emerged on the track, so hopefully this will help us. We fly down the Wellington Straight. We haven't had a great exit, so we're only sort of 2.5 tenths up on our previous best. Heading down into Brooklands, we are really struggling on these wet tyres. We're going so slowly through Luffield. Yes, we are 4 tenths up, but we're currently down in 20th place. We don't really manage to get the power down as early as I'd have liked on the exit of Woodcote now as we fly up towards Copse Corner. This is normally comfortably flat out. And in these cars, we're actually going to have to brake. We drop down to 156 miles an hour. If we were going in the dry, that'd be 187 miles an hour. So you can see a huge difference there. We even have to brake through the second parts of Maggots and Beckett's. We are really struggling, but we go very wide onto the grass. We have to take evasive action. We've lost a huge amount of time. We're coming under some serious pressure from a Renault car behind us. I think it's Esteban Ocon, who's currently on the intermediate compound of tyres. So I wonder what his time will be like. Obviously, it'll be infinitely quicker than ours, considering he started his lap about 3 seconds after we did. We are really struggling. We've gone far too deep into the Vale chicane and we'll go round Club Corner. We are really struggling. We're in the red zone. It's been a disastrous lap, so we're not going to improve. We come across the line for 20th place. Embarrassing. In front of our home crowd, we finished 20th and Daniel down in 11th. So that's horrible qualifying for the team.
Great Britain then, one of only 2 countries to have held a Grand Prix in every single year of the Formula One World Championship. And the circuit extends that record further for today's Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Esteban Ocon lines up on pole position, and talented Spaniard Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Kvyat, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Norris, Albon, Bottas, Magnussen and Charles Leclerc, Ricciardo, Vettel, Sergio Perez and Gasly, Russell, De Vries, Antonio Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll, Grosjean, James, Joe and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So here we are then for the start of the British Grand Prix, starting from 20th on the grid, which is absolutely horrendous. We're going to be starting on the medium tyre, and there is rain coming for the end of the race, so watch out for that as well. But we're going to go to 5 red lights for the start of the British Grand Prix. The lights are off, and so are we. It's showtime here at Silverstone, and already we're past Roman Grosjean, and we're side by side with Lance Stroll, heading down towards the first corner. We get squeezed a little bit towards the wall at Abbey, and Stroll goes through, and we're up into 19th place, though, ahead of Grosjean, who's dropped all the way down to the bottom of the pack. We try and go down the inside of Stroll into turn 3, and we make the move stick, but he comes back at us round the outside. We get caught up a bit behind Antonio Giovinazzi through 4, and that allows Lance Stroll to sneak back up the inside. So we've only gained the 1 position. We're looking to get past Stroll down towards Brooklands. It's not been a great start. We've only gained 1 position. If we have a look at the start, it's a Renault and a McLaren on the front row. Ocon on those intermediate tyres managed to set a pole position lap time. Remember, he won in France last season, which was fantastic for the French driver, but the McLaren got into the lead, and we had a pretty scruffy start, it must be said. We were really struggling. We tried to go down the inside of Stroll at 3. We got squeezed out through 4. And so it hasn't been the ideal start as we look to battle our way up past these midfield cars and get into some seriously good points positions for our Drivers' Championship. Now chasing after Stroll on the end of the very first lap. We go for the inside into the chicane. We get very, very close, almost bang wheels slightly. Stroll is caught up on the inside. We'll have the extra traction on the exit. We go all the way around the outside of the final corner, and we're up into what is 18th place. Remember, we have started on the medium tyre. I don't think any other car has started on the mediums. You get a replay of the overtake on Stroll. We've actually got some damage to the side pod. Look at that. It's clear as day. We've got quite a lot of damage to that left side pod. Obviously, simulation damage means any sort of contact is going to result in a problem. And yes, that's quite a lot of damage to the left side pod. Hopefully, it doesn't hold us up too much in our battle to get up through the field. Now, lap number 2, chasing after Antonio Giovinazzi. We've gone round the outside of him at Rascasse in the last 3 Monaco Grand Prix. Can we get past him at Silverstone? We go for it from a long way back down the inside into the chicane. We managed to squeeze him out, but he does try and come back at us. He gets better traction off the penultimate corner, but we squeeze him out through the final corner. And going on to lap number 3, we're ahead. It was a very, very good battle. We went a little bit too deep, see, locking up the front right as we were trying to get through there at the chicane. Giovinazzi tried to swoop all the way around the outside, but he just ran out of road. And so we managed to keep what is 18th place. And now we cut to the broadcast cam on lap number 3. We've joined a fantastic battle between De Vries, Kevin Magnussen, and Kimi Räikkönen as well. We managed to get past Nick De Vries through Maggots and Beckett on the broadcast cam. Now we're chasing after Kimi Räikkönen down the hangar straight, looking to get past him into Stowe. We've breezed past the Alfa Romeo car on those medium compound of tyres, everyone else on the soft, so we've managed to make some very, very good moves. Now chasing after Kevin Magnussen, we go to the outside for the Vale chicane, tuck in for the inside, and we've got past Kevin Magnussen. We got past all of those guys except Pierre Gasly in that scrap, who was actually a little bit further up the road. So we're now in 14th. That was a really, really good scrap, and I showed that to you guys on the broadcast cam just to really enhance the action, because it was a fantastic scrap, and we managed to gain 4 positions from it. We got past De Vries, Stroll, Magnussen, and Kimi Räikkönen, I think, as well. So that was a very, very good part of our race. Now chasing after Pierre Gasly on lap number 8. He's on the soft compound of tyre, we're on the medium, so this might be the part of the race where the medium tyres really start to come into their own. You see, Copse Corner is taken there at 181 miles an hour. We were going at 156 through there. Remember, we have a very heavy tank of fuel on board at the moment, and in qualifying, it was raining so hard we had to go 30 miles an hour slower. That's 50 k's slower. That's absolutely absurd. Remember, we were using our slightly adjusted wet setup, but it wasn't enough. Now we get towards the pit stop phases. Many, many cars coming in. We're up in 12th place at the moment. Still more than a second behind Pierre Gasly. We can't quite sneak into his DRS range, but what this does mean is we will gain a lot of track position. Now we've got to pray for a safety car up in 6th, but as everyone else peels into the pits to get rid of the red-walled soft tyre and put on a set of the yellow-walled medium compound of tyre, we're going to try and stay out for as long as possible. Maybe wait for a safety car, maybe try and see if we can get to the rain period, but look how clear it is at the moment. It's getting slightly more overcast on lap 14, and in this clear air, we're actually setting personal bests. These medium tyres are really coming alive in the clear air. I think this was the same at Silverstone last year. We put in some personal bests when we had a bit of clear air and we weren't trying to chase after a slower midfield car. Now on lap number 17, we're going to have to take the bait. Ocon is closing in at a rate of knots. We're going to take the bait and come in for a set of the soft compound of tyre. We've got, I think we might have one saved over from qualifying, or we have many saved over from qualifying, in fact, because it was actually a wet qualifying. Normally I do 3 runs in the race and prefer the medium compound of tyre. So it's interesting that we've got so many softs left. Hopefully we can pump in some extremely quick lap times. We're going to drop a long way down the field. Obviously, all of those front runners will have made their pit stops as we were sort of slithering around in 12th place. As everyone comes out of the pits, where's going to be the lowest? Basically, where we come out of the pit lane is where it's basically the lowest where we can finish in this Grand Prix, and it's 11th place. So one overtake will mean that we will get up into the points, and we're miles ahead of Pierre Gasly, so our overcut has worked extremely well, and we're now on the quicker compound of tyre. The soft tyre is normally far quicker. Chasing after Sergio Perez down towards Brooklands is a purple first sector. The AlphaTauri on his medium tyres, and then Charles Leclerc up ahead on the hard compound tyre, holding up Perez. We get a good run through Stowe Corner, use all the track on the exit. Can we go into the chicane side by side with Perez? We go down the inside. We've got much better grip, and we managed to make the move stick. That was pretty fantastic. These soft tyres really sticking to the surface, and we've done a really good job there. Now chasing after Charles Leclerc, which is half a second behind, heading through the loop. We go a little bit too deep into there, but we will try and get the best exit possible out of the corner. We're using the overtake button. We're up into Rich Mix. We've got the DRS flap open. We're in his slipstream. Look at the overspeed that we've got. So we head to the outside, purple first sector, head to the outside of Brooklands, and we're up into what is 9th place. Charles Leclerc trying to bite back at us down through Luffield, but look how dark it's getting now on lap 21. We've set the new fastest lap on lap 20. It is getting extremely dark in Silverstone. The British weather was horrendous yesterday, and we had a very poor qualifying, and now we get to lap number 22. We're 1.7 seconds behind the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel, and our teammate Daniel Ricciardo has got up from 11th to 7th as well. Heading through Stowe now. These soft tyres going off a little bit. Safety car! The safety car has been deployed. Wow. We had a very late safety car in Austria. We've had a very, very late safety car here at Silverstone. With just 4 laps to go. We're going to have basically a couple of laps maybe behind the safety car. And it's raining. And it is not just lightly raining. It is tipping it down. It really is tipping it down. But with just a few laps left in the Grand Prix, what do? Do we stay out on slicks and risk losing so much time in the wet, or do we pit? We've gone green from the safety car. We decided not to pit, and it is perhaps time for the intermediate tyre. We're going to be really, really struggling. It's a 2-lap sprint to the finish. We got no traction out of the penultimate corner. This would have been a great opportunity to get past all of the drivers up ahead, but look how we are really struggling to stop into turn 3. Heading round the loop, we have not seemed to got a great restart. Through Aintree, we were really struggling. It's the final lap of the Grand Prix. The track is soaked. Look how we can't slow the car down. We cannot slow the car down for the final chicane without locking the fronts massively. That's going to put us under pressure from Sergio Perez massively, and Charles Leclerc as well. We're going to come across the line though and finish in 9th place.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race it was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today.
So that was the British Grand Prix. Esteban Ocon taking his 2nd win in our My Team universe after his win in France in Season 2. And we got 3 points for the team with the fastest lap and 9th place. We didn't lose too much to Daniel Ricciardo in the drivers, and not too much in the constructors as well. But that was the British Grand Prix. I hope you guys did enjoy that episode. It was quite a mad race, to be fair. Overtakes galore on those soft tyres. That big scrap on lap number 4 or so. And then also that late safety car in the rain just turned the race upside down. But we managed to do quite well. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure to give the video a like. Subscribe if you are new around here and you want to see Formula 1 content 3 times a week. And I will catch you in the next one. Later, guys.